Hello everyone and welcome to the Young and the Restless official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, March 13th reveal that Patty Williams and Jack Abbott will play mind games while Kane Ashby gets a granted wish. Victor Newman and Nikki Newman will also have a nasty argument. So let's discuss what's coming up on Y&R. For starters, Kane will take steps to correct his mistakes and learn from them. We'll see Kane work to repair the damage with Lily Winters, so she may surprise Kane with the news of her release. Kane will be relieved to know Lily and the twins are no longer in danger. Of course, Lily might ultimately admit there was never any danger at all since she was aware of Victor's scheme. Perhaps Lily will acknowledge that she didn't know how else to get through to Kane after his drastic takeover move. Since Phyllis Summers ultimately stole Newman Enterprises away from Kane, Lily may admit things got out of hand. Both Kane and Lily may be apologetic in the end, so they'll have to talk through all this and figure out where things stand between them. Lily, Matty Ashby and Charlie Ashby were never real hostages, so Victor might approve their freedom in exchange for Chancellor. However, Victor may dig his heels in on wanting the whole Newman empire back in exchange for Jack's homecoming. Phyllis won't be quick to make that deal, so Jack will continue to contend with Patty drama on the yacht. Jack has already been trying to seduce Patty a bit and earn her trust. However, Patty will turn the tables with a trap of her own on Friday's episode, so Jack will get pulled into more trouble. Next, Nikki will finally have a chance to confront Victor over his decision to abduct Jack and hold him captive. Although Nikki will demand Jack's release and rant about how despicable this is, Victor will fire back at her and act like Jack deserves it. Besides, Victor will think a drastic move like this is warranted since their family legacy is in jeopardy. Nikki will disagree about Victor's strategy and may bring back her divorce threat if he doesn't surrender Jack immediately. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Victor and Nick have a fierce face-off on the way, so stay tuned. The tension hanging over Genoa City feels thicker than ever as Friday, March 13th approaches, and once again the lives of powerful families and fragile hearts begin to collide in ways no one could have predicted. At the center of it all stands Kane Ashby, a man forced to confront the wreckage left behind by his own decisions. The storm he created has pushed the people he loves to their limits, and now the weight of regret sits heavily on his shoulders. Determined to make things right, Kane begins taking careful, deliberate steps to correct the mistakes that spiraled so far out of control. His thoughts keep returning to Lily Winters, the woman whose trust he may have damaged beyond repair. The pain between them lingers like an open wound, but Kane refuses to walk away without trying to heal it. With quiet determination guiding him forward, he prepares to face Lily and the truth they both have been avoiding. When Kane finally reconnects with Lily, the moment carries a surprising twist that shifts everything he believed about the situation. Lily reveals that she and the twins have been released, news that instantly lifts the crushing weight from Kane's chest. For days, the fear of their safety has haunted him, filling his mind with terrifying possibilities. Now, hearing that Lily, Matty and Charlie are no longer in danger brings a wave of relief so powerful it nearly overwhelms him. Yet the story does not end there, because Lily soon reveals a secret that changes the entire narrative. With quiet honesty, she admits that there was never any real danger in the first place. Lily had known about Victor Newman's elaborate scheme all along, and the truth begins to unravel the complicated web surrounding Kane's actions. As Lily explains herself, the emotional tension between them deepens rather than fades. She confesses that she felt trapped, unsure of how else to reach Kane after his shocking move to take control of Chancellor. To her, the takeover felt reckless and desperate, and she feared the man she loved was losing sight of everything that once mattered. In a moment of vulnerability, Lily may admit she believed drastic measures were the only way to force Kane to confront the consequences of his choices. But even she didn't expect events to spiral so wildly out of control. After all, it was Phyllis Summers who ultimately seized the opportunity and stole Newman Enterprises right out from under Kane's grasp, turning an already volatile situation into complete chaos. The truth hangs heavily in the air between Kane and Lily, forcing them both to recognize just how far things have gone. Despite the painful honesty, something softer begins to emerge between them. Both Kane and Lily find themselves acknowledging their mistakes, their voices filled with quiet regret as they try to untangle the damage done. The realization that Lily, Mattie Ashby, and Charlie Ashby were never truly hostages brings an odd mixture of relief and frustration. It becomes clear that Victor Newman may be willing to approve their freedom as part of a larger calculated exchange involving Chancellor. Yet anyone who knows Victor understands that his bargains rarely come without steep conditions. True to form, Victor may stubbornly insist that he wants the entire Newman empire returned before he will even consider allowing Jack Abbott to come home. The demand sets the stage for another dangerous stalemate, one that could push everyone involved even closer to the edge. But while the power players of Genoa City negotiate their next moves, Jack Abbott finds himself trapped in a far more personal and unpredictable battle. Far away from the boardrooms and power struggles, Jack remains held captive aboard a yacht where his fate is tangled in the unstable emotions of Patty Williams. In a desperate attempt to survive the situation, Jack has already begun playing a delicate game of manipulation. He's tried to charm Patty, to gently pull at the fragile threads of her affection in hopes of earning her trust. Every smile, every soft word has been part of a careful strategy to keep her calm and maybe even gain the upper hand. Yet Patty is far from the naive victim Jack may have hoped she would be. On Friday's episode, Patty flips the script in a way Jack never saw coming. Instead of falling deeper into his carefully crafted charm, she springs a trap of her own. Suddenly, Jack finds himself pulled deeper into Patty's twisted psychological game, where the lines between affection, obsession, and danger blur into something truly terrifying. The power dynamic shifts in an instant, leaving Jack struggling to regain control of a situation that grows more dangerous by the minute. What began as a calculated attempt to manipulate Patty's emotions now threatens to trap Jack in an even more precarious position. Out on that isolated yacht, far from help and surrounded by uncertainty, the stakes feel higher than ever. Meanwhile, back in Genoa City, another storm begins brewing within the walls of the Newman household. Nikki Newman finally confronts Victor Newman over the shocking revelation that he abducted Jack and is holding him captive. The moment the truth spills into the open, Nikki's outrage erupts like wildfire. Her voice trembles with anger as she demands to know how Victor could sink to such a ruthless level. To her, this isn't strategy or business, it's cruelty, plain and simple. Nikki fiercely insists that Jack must be released immediately, condemning Victor's actions as despicable and unforgivable. But Victor Newman has never been a man who backs down easily, especially when he believes the fate of his empire is on the line. Instead of showing remorse, Victor stands firm, defending his actions with icy conviction. In his mind, Jack Abbott deserves exactly what he's getting after threatening the Newman legacy. Victor believes the survival of his family's empire justifies drastic action, even if that action crosses dangerous moral lines. His calm, unwavering confidence only fuels Nikki's fury, widening the emotional distance between them. The argument quickly escalates into something far more serious than a simple disagreement. Nikki makes it painfully clear that she cannot support Victor's ruthless strategy, especially when it involves kidnapping and manipulation. As the tension reaches a boiling point, she may even revive a threat she has made before, the possibility of divorce. Nikki warns Victor that if he doesn't release Jack immediately, their marriage itself could become another casualty of his relentless ambition. The words hang in the air like a thunderclap, forcing Victor to confront the possibility that his pursuit of power may cost him the woman who has stood by his side for decades. And as if the Newman family conflict wasn't already intense enough, an even more explosive confrontation is looming on the horizon. According to the Young and the Restless spoilers, Victor and Nick Newman are heading toward a fierce face-off of their own. Father and son, two powerful personalities who rarely see eye to eye when emotions run high, may soon clash in a way that shakes the entire family. With secrets unraveling, alliances shifting, and lives hanging in the balance, Genoa City stands on the edge of another unforgettable storm. And as the drama continues to unfold, one thing is certain: the fallout from Victor Newman's dangerous game is only just beginning. As the tension continues to ripple through Genoa City, the consequences of Victor Newman's ruthless decisions begin to touch nearly every corner of the lives around him. What began as a calculated power move has now spiraled into a storm of emotional fallout, leaving relationships strained and loyalties tested in ways no one anticipated. The fragile peace within the Newman family now hangs by a thread, and Nikki Newman finds herself standing at the center of the chaos, her heart torn between the man she has loved for years and the moral line she refuses to let him cross. Victor may believe he is protecting the legacy of his empire, but Nikki sees something far more troubling: a man so consumed by power that he has begun sacrificing the very people who once mattered most to him. The weight of that realization lingers in every word she throws at him, every tear of frustration that threatens to surface during their explosive confrontation. She refuses to accept Victor's cold justification that Jack Abbott somehow deserves to be kidnapped and held captive like a pawn in a ruthless chess match. For Nikki, the issue is painfully simple. Right is right, and what Victor has done is undeniably wrong. Victor, however, stands unmoved by her outrage, his resolve hardened by decades of battle in both business and family wars. To him, the situation is far bigger than Jack Abbott or any single act of retaliation. Victor sees the Newman Empire as something sacred, something built through relentless effort and ruthless strategy over a lifetime. The thought of that empire slipping away under someone else's control is something he simply cannot tolerate. In Victor's mind, drastic circumstances call for drastic solutions, and he refuses to apologize for doing whatever it takes to protect the Newman legacy. Yet even he cannot ignore the deep hurt in Nikki's eyes as she delivers her warning with chilling clarity. If Jack is not released immediately, their marriage, the bond that has endured so many storms, could finally shatter for good. For a brief moment, the room falls into heavy silence, the weight of that threat settling between them like an unspoken challenge neither of them is quite ready to face. Meanwhile, far away from the emotional battlefield unfolding at the Newman Ranch, Jack Abbott continues to navigate the unsettling reality of his captivity. The isolation of the yacht presses in around him, the endless stretch of water creating a prison with no visible escape. Jack knows that every move he makes must be carefully calculated if he hopes to survive Patty Williams's unpredictable moods. He had believed his strategy was working, slowly gaining Patty's trust with gentle charm and carefully chosen words. For a time, it seemed as though Patty was softening toward him, allowing Jack to believe he might eventually manipulate the situation to his advantage. But Patty Williams has always been far more complicated than anyone gives her credit for, and the fragile balance between them suddenly shifts in a dangerous new direction. On this fateful day, Patty reveals that she has been watching Jack just as closely as he has been studying her. With unsettling calm, she flips the entire dynamic between them, setting a trap that pulls Jack deeper into her psychological game. What Jack thought was control suddenly slips through his fingers, leaving him scrambling to understand how much Patty truly knows about his intentions. The smile on her face carries an eerie confidence, as though she has been anticipating this moment all along. In that instant, Jack realizes the dangerous truth. Patty is no longer simply reacting to him, she is actively steering the game. And on this yacht, cut off from the rest of the world, the consequences of losing that game could be devastating. Back in Genoa City, another complicated conversation unfolds between Kane Ashby and Lily Winters, two people who have spent so much time hurting each other that even honesty feels fragile now. With the truth finally laid bare, both of them are forced to confront the emotional wreckage left behind by their choices. Kane listens carefully as Lily explains how she felt pushed into a corner, desperate to stop him from making a move that could destroy everything they had built together. Her involvement in Victor's elaborate scheme was never meant to cause lasting damage, but somewhere along the way the situation spiraled into something far beyond anyone's control. The mention of Phyllis Summers' unexpected interference only adds another layer of frustration to the entire ordeal, since her opportunistic takeover of Newman Enterprises turned a calculated plan into chaotic disaster. Despite the pain and misunderstandings, there is a quiet moment where both Kane and Lily allow themselves to lower their defenses. Kane admits that his desire for power clouded his judgment, pushing him to make reckless decisions that nearly cost him the people he loves most. Lily in turn acknowledges that manipulating the situation may not have been the best way to reach him. The realization that Mattie Ashby and Charlie Ashby were never truly in danger offers a strange kind of relief, but it doesn't erase the emotional damage left in the wake of everything that happened. Now the question that hangs between them is one neither of them can answer easily. Can their relationship survive the weight of all these secrets and betrayals? Yet even as Kane and Lily cautiously attempt to rebuild trust, the larger power struggle surrounding them continues to intensify. Victor Newman remains determined to use every advantage at his disposal, and that includes keeping Jack Abbott exactly where he is until the deal he wants is finally placed on the table. His demand is clear and uncompromising. The entire Newman empire must be returned if anyone expects Jack to come home safely. It's a bold and ruthless stance, one that places immense pressure on everyone involved. But there is one person who refuses to be bullied into submission. Phyllis Summers, who now holds control of Newman Enterprises after seizing the opportunity Kane left behind, is not about to hand that power back without a fight. Phyllis has never been the type to surrender her advantage easily, and Victor's demands only strengthen her resolve. The standoff between them threatens to become a full-scale war of strategy, pride, and revenge. Every decision made from this point forward could tip the balance of power in Genoa City in ways that will echo for years. And just when it seems the tension cannot possibly grow any higher, another explosive confrontation begins to loom on the horizon. Victor Newman and his son Nick Newman are heading toward a fierce face-off that could shake the Newman family to its core. Nick has never been afraid to challenge his father when he believes Victor has gone too far, and this time the stakes are more personal than ever. With Jack's life hanging in the balance and Nikki threatening to walk away from her marriage, Victor's actions are pushing his own family dangerously close to the breaking point. As these powerful personalities collide, Genoa City becomes a place where loyalty, love, and ambition are constantly tested. Secrets are unraveling, alliances are shifting, and every choice carries consequences that could change lives forever. The battle for power is far from over, and with emotions running hotter than ever, the coming days promise even more shocking twists. One thing is certain, the storm Victor Newman unleashed is only beginning to show its true force, and when the dust finally settles, no one in Genoa City will walk away untouched.